Welcome to Weirdaholics with Tiffany
and Nicole.
Goodness. How are you? I don't like when I say that.
Yeah. Do you really even care?
No, I don't.
About
it's a nasty habit.
Nasty habits. Nasty habits. I'm fine. How are you? We've moved past that. Weird thing of the week.
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
I'll go first. Also, your shirt brings out your eyes.
Thanks. It's actually teal.
Your boobs make you bring out your eyes.
Teal is my favorite color. And it brings out my eyes and hair.
It looks pretty green to me. Like a, not forest green, but kind of like a...
Okay, it is a little bit more green than teal, but I pretend it's teal because I hate green and I love teal.
Yeah, a cottage green.
A cottage green.
A fairy cottage green. Anyway, so my weird thing of the week is still... I got stung by a bee for the very first time in 34 years.
Life.
Yes, and it's still there. Do you see this little dot right here?
Did you see the little culprit who did it?
No, I didn't. I was walking, and I had my purse on my left side, right where my arm is, and it has, like, metal clasps. And I thought the metal, because it was so hot outside, I thought the metal just got so hot, but then it, like, didn't make sense afterwards. I thought it got so hot that it burned me.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like that white hot burning sensation. And I was like, ow! And then I looked, and, like, it was kind of a little bit red. And I was like, that's weird. And then I saw it change before my eyes after 5 minutes.
Before my eyes.
Like, this little red dot, like, showed up. And then it got kind of swolled up and red and stuff.
I wonder if it was a hornet.
I think it was, because I think bees leave their stingers in, and hornets don't.
Bees leave their stingers in. So if there wasn't a stinger in there, then it was a hornet.
And I didn't see
that really sucks.
Yeah, it does.
I think I've only been stung by a hornet or a bee once in my whole life as well, but it was when I was a little kid. I was walking barefoot through the grass, and something hurt the bottom of my foot really bad, and it was like that white hot sensation, like a sudden sting. And I didn't see the culprit either, but it also, like, looks a lot like what you have. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's weird how, like, we're so scared of being stung, but it's so rare that it actually happens. Like, once in our whole lives.
Yeah.
Unless you're Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, he can't see without his glasses.
But his glasses. He can't see without his glasses.
Oh, sad. So I told my brother about the bee sting, and he's like, this is your first time? I got stung like every other day when I was a kid. And then he told me stories about how he messed with beehives.
Well, then, stuff. Yeah, that's an exception. You're going to get stung a lot if you mess with the beehives. Duh.
He told me that him and the neighbor kid, they saw, like, a hornet's nest, like, in the ground, because that's a thing, apparently. And they covered up the hole with a bucket, and they said that they were going to try to, like, get the hornets into the bucket and then release them so that they could shoot them or something with BB guns. It was really weird. Really weird.
Kids with torturing animals, I know. I've never been like that. I don't get it.
I know. He's probably a serial killer now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he owns a gun shop, so yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, Ryan. And then he's, like, put the bucket over. He was gonna get all the hornets in the bucket and then, like, shoot them as they come out or something.
Oh, that's messed up.
But then the hornets dug through the ground and came up on the other side and was, like, stinging them.
Wow, I'm kind of glad that the bees won in that situation, just because, even though I hate hornets.
Animal revenge.
Yeah, it's like, I always root for the animals.
Yeah, animal revenge. But yeah, he told me stories about that and just other instances where there was bees just stinging him left and right. Like, boys will be boys.
Bees, not the bees.
Not the bees. Oh, I guess the weird part about that, other than I haven't been stung in 34 years, the day before, I was telling Kyle that I had never been stung by a bee, and I plan on never being stung by a bee. And I'm like, this is my one life goal that I have, is to never be stung by a bee.
And the very next day you got stung.
The very next day I got stung.
What the fuck?
I send him a picture. I'm like, is this karma? I don't fucking know, but it's weird as hell.
Wow.
But I tell people that all the time, so I don't know why that day was different. But,
wow. Yeah. It was like, okay, at this point you're just bragging, and we need to, like, take you down a notch.
Yeah, exactly. The bees are like, I'm coming at you, foo.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. So what's yours?
Besides spraining my ankle twice in 1 month.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You and I both had nightmares recently about hands being cut off. And that's very weird and specific and gruesome.
Not our own, but other people's.
Yeah. And then I also had the same dream as someone else. This happened a while ago. I just totally forgot to mention it. So Brandon and I had the same dream. It was like an Indiana Jones type of dream. We happened to both dream that we were underground in like this weird sandy, rocky labyrinth area. And then the sand walls started to all cave in on us. And so we had to try to escape before we got trapped underneath the sand and suffocated to death. And some weird similarities of our dreams was that we both were in tourist type of groups. So it was like not just this happening to us, but like it was a group of people that were struggling to escape the sand collapsing in. There were also animals trying to eat us alive. So his dream had a bunch of weasels who would swarm a person and eat them alive.
Weasels?
Yeah, so it's like kind of like scarabs on the Mummy, how they swarm someone and eat them alive.
Yeah.
It was like that, but weasels. And mine, I also had an animal eating people alive, but mine happened to be sharks because eventually I escaped the sandy area and I went to like a water maze area, and then sharks started to eat people alive.
Ooh.
So it's just weird that the same exact dream about the sand collapsing in this mazy area, groups of tourists, and animals eating us alive. What are the chances? And it happened around the same time in the same night.
When you were asking him about his dream, like I could tell that neither of you were like lying, you know? Because sometimes when you're like, oh, I dreamed about this, you give the details, but then the other person's like, oh yeah, I dreamed about that too. But you were like, what happened in your dream? And he told you, and you're like, oh, me too. And then you said some other details.
I asked him, were you alone or were you with a group of people?
Yeah.
And he said a group of people. I'm like, okay, me too.
Yeah. So I could tell, like, this is very accurate for both of you, and holy shit, this is weird.
So weird. And the funny thing is, like, we weren't getting along that night, and he was sleeping on the couch. So we happened to have this dream while we weren't even next to each other. I was in the bedroom while he was in the living room, and then we both had the same dream.
Yeah.
So weird.
So your dream couldn't escape your ear and go into his ear.
Ew. And then just a little random weird thing that happened to us yesterday. We were talking about going to Disneyland with Elias, and then we came to a red light, and then the car in front of us happened to have Disneyland decals all over their car. So it's like right after we talked about Disneyland, we saw those stickers.
Walt Disney's like, come to Disneyland, it's a sign.
Yeah.
But really, we should go to Disneyland.
I would like to go to Disneyland with you.
It's like not the most exciting thing, but it's the happiest place on earth.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's start off with a quick disclaimer. This is a comedy podcast. We will be making jokes, and sometimes we'll go off on tangents and be annoying while we talk about weird shit. If that's not what you're looking for, that's okay. There's lots of other podcasts out there for you to choose from. If you're into a more fun and casual podcast where there's jokes and banter between two friends, then listen on, and we hope you enjoy this episode.
So I'm going to talk about...
It's like, I forgot.
Caribbean folklore.
Ooh.
And shout out to my friend Jill, who told me about some of the folklore and legends in the Caribbean where she is from. So I'm going to start out with this thing called Tibolom. And she said that the Tibolom are real, by the way. I grew up on stories about them. So I believe her 100%.
I believe all folklore.
Yeah, me too.
All of it.
All of it. So get your drinks ready and let's begin with Le Tibolom.
And remember, take a drink whenever we say weird.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do the drinking game.
If not, go get a milkshake and drink along with us.
Yeah, that's good. That sounds really good.
I know.
Let's do milkshakes next time.
Okay. Tibolom means little devil, and these little guys are found all over the Caribbean. There have been stories of them haunting people, tormenting people, and helping the devil steal souls.
Ooh.
I could only find one picture of these guys.
Those are the most interesting folklore because it's so, like, specific to a very local area that there's really not much except for what can be translated from here or there by a few people and a few photos. So it kind of shows how local it is.
Yeah, and it's like folklore passed down from generation to generation.
Yeah, it's all mainly oral folklore that's been told. And now that we have the internet, it's slowly getting on the internet, but it's still so local that we don't get much on the internet.
It's very hipster, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
And I was also going to say, like, I don't know exactly, like, when these type of things were first started. And that's another tidbit, like, yeah, this is passed down from generation to generation to generation. So there's no photographs, there's no videos, there's no, like, anything like that.
So it could be before written records.
Yeah, pretty much. But the description is, and the photo that I saw, they kind of look like creepy 2-foot-tall little kids or small men with dark circles around their eyes and kind of like no eyelids. So it's like dark and then like eyes.
Like just big round eyes, no eyelids. That's creepy.
Yeah, I'll post a picture of that.
Again, how many different folklore have little people? Like you gotta wonder, okay, yeah, we do have little people for real, but like I was going to say, you got to wonder, there has to be real little people in the world, like these folklore type of little people. But who knows? Maybe they were just mistaken for actual little people.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, yeah, I mean, these definitely don't look like our little people nowadays, but like, you know, giants. And then like little people.
There were giants too. Yeah. There's evidence of giants.
Yeah. Children who were not properly baptized became Tibalum. Yeah. They hide in bushes and cry out like lost little kids trying to find their parents in order to try to lure people in and steal their souls.
Hello, I need a parent to baptize me.
Oh, parent, I need you. Hello, I'm just a little kid. Why do I sound like an 80-year-old grandpa? I'm just a little kid.
I'm a little kid who needs to be baptized.
Oh, that was really good. I need to be baptized. From thecostaricatimes.com, quote, a local heard a baby crying and followed the sounds into a secluded part of the island, only to come face to face with a Tibalom. The Tibalom jumped on the local and sat on his chest and sucked out his soul from his forehead.
Ooh, that's a new one, the forehead.
I don't know how that would even, like, from the pores or something? Like, how?
Like, and I never thought of the soul being in the head. Like, I always think around the chest area.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of like, does it have something to do with the third eye or something, maybe?
That's a good point. The third eye area.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah. And then another local heard the screaming of the man and ran over to him. The victim of this Tibalom explained to the man what happened and then went into convulsions and died on the spot.
Ooh, wow.
End quote. So he got his soul sucked out from his forehead, convulsed, and then died.
Well, he lived long enough to tell someone about it, then convulsed and died. Very convenient.
So we must know that this is true.
Yeah.
Because we have one story at least.
Yeah.
Here's another story. Quote, my brother Joe says that the girl he was dating made claim that her uncle was terrorized by a Tibalom. The story goes that her uncle got into a physical altercation with a man at a bar over a woman that both were courting. Typical. Her uncle got the best of the man he was fighting. As her uncle was leaving the bar, the man that he fought with cursed him and said within the week he will be visited by a Tibalom. This prediction came true.
Ooh.
In 1 week, her uncle came face to face with a Tibalom. The Tibalom that the uncle came in contact with was an evil little boy that had black eyes. The white of his eyes, or the sclera, whatever it's called, like the white of the eyes, was just all black.
Creepy.
The uncle, while looking at the Tibalom, heard a voice in his head telling him to kill himself.
Ew.
Then the uncle started praying out loud, and finally the voice in his head stopped, and the Tibalom vanished. End quote. So this story, he didn't get his soul sucked out. He just, like, had, hey, you should kill yourself. Like, like, is that kind of, like, schizophrenia or something? Or I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know if some experiences could have been schizophrenia or another psychosis or part of an actual folklore. It's very interesting. But it's interesting how they said, you're going to be visited by this. It reminds me of you saying you won't be visited by a bee. It was like you cursed yourself but like you were saying that you weren't gonna get it, but maybe your intention was accidentally, I'm probably gonna get it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Because I'm like all about that stuff. Like, whatever's in your mind is in your reality. And so I was like, I'm never getting stung by a bee. But then I was like, maybe I was scared that I actually was or something. Like the subconscious
or
just
you were
knows.
joking.
Yeah.
And you unintentionally were actually bringing it to you.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Or, so I was like talking, but then like stung by a bee. I was like the thing that stuck.
That was the only thing the universe heard.
Yeah, stung by a bee. Oh, this bitch wants to get stung. Let's try summoning a Tibalome, shall we?
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a good idea.
Right now. Take a raw egg. Do you have a raw egg?
Elias was just telling us about the meaning behind eggs.
Oh, I just realized that.
Yeah, last night our friend Elias was telling us about the negative folklore connotation behind seeing a raw egg being delivered to you, like suddenly on your porch or something, or in your room, and you're like, where the fuck did this egg come from? And that's like a sign that
it's
something
like a bad
is
omen
a bad
something,
omen
right?
time.
Yeah. Oh, that is weird.
Yeah.
That's another weird thing of the week right here, right now. You heard it here first, folks. Take a raw egg, place it under your pillow, sleep on it for a couple of nights. I don't know how it doesn't break, but sleep on it for a couple of nights. Day 3, you have a Tibalome. I don't know how or when or why, but it just comes from a raw egg.
There's something about raw eggs, apparently.
Oh, it's kind of like a little hen. You just fertilize it with your warmth. And just make sure that you feed it raw meat so that it doesn't turn on you. Because if you don't feed it the raw meat, it's like, you're not my master anymore. Screw you. I'm going to go help someone else.
Sounds like a cat.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Remy? Yeah, he hates it. He's like, it's too real. The caveat is that you cannot let the Tibalome speak before you do. So once the Tibalome comes...
So you're asserting dominance.
Yes, you have to assert dominance like a real man. Ugh, I need to stop the man jokes. But if it does speak before you, you become its slave, and it'll be the owner of your soul.
Ooh.
But if you speak before it does, then the Tibalome will do your bidding.
What if it's tied, like you both start speaking at the same time? You're like equals, you become best friends.
That's a good observation. I'm sure it's within, like, even sooner than milliseconds. Like, I don't even quadriseconds. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should go ask a shaman or something.
Yeah.
Do you want to travel to South America and ask?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's find a shaman, do some peyote, and we'll ask him about this.
That'll be a fun trip.
I know. Like, literally.
Yeah.
Fun trip. But the thing that you must say is, "Mwen se met u," I am your owner. So you have to say that before the Tibalome speaks. What happens when you're sick of having a Tibalome and want to get rid of your new little friend, you ask? I'm so glad you asked. From uncommoncaribbean.com, give him an impossible task. Like making your dad proud of you for once. Just kidding.
Making your boyfriend romantic.
Oh my gosh. Tell me about it, sister. Making your boyfriend open your car door for you at the least. No, but really. Fetching water from a bucket that has holes in it. That's probably a good one.
Ooh.
Or tell him to count every grain of sand on the beach. That's another good one, too.
Yeah.
And basically, if it exhausts him to death, you're good to go. And that is the Tibalome. That's the end of our episode. Just kidding, we have like 4 more. The next up, I like this lady. Temptress, seductress, avenger of the oppressed.
Is this a succubus?
Nicole.
Oh.
No, it's La Diablesse.
Ooh, it's like a female Diablo.
Yeah, pretty much. It means female devil.
Yeah.
And she is said to be a beautiful demoness that likes to show up on bridges, rivers, alleyways, and sometimes fancy parties. Same. She made a deal with the devil where she gave her soul for eternal youth, and she smells of fine perfume and decay.
perfume and decay.
Yeah, so
Gross.
it's like two polar opposites.
That was weird.
Flowers and dead bodies.
It's like she's trying to use the perfume to mask the decay, but it's not working.
It's like high school boys trying to use Axe body spray
To
but they
cover the
still
weed.
Have,
The weed smell.
they still have it.
It's like so much Axe that it's even more obnoxious than the weed
God.
smell.
And it's always like, like you're killing the ozone layer.
Those my brothers.
God, yeah, I can see that. A good way to recognize a diablesse is that her left foot is cloven, just her left foot.
Weird.
And she will immediately disappear if you make a cross with your fingers or objects.
That's too easy.
I know.
Unless you don't have fingers.
That's so sad. The person who doesn't have fingers can't protect themselves against
Well, they
her.
just have to make sure to wear a cross necklace all the time.
Yeah, it does say or objects, so just like make a cross out of anything. Your feet, your toes.
Yeah, just cross your toes.
Yeah, I mean, even your arms, right?
That's true. You could just use your arms.
Yeah, this is too easy. I'm going to skip this one. She, of course, is a temptress and seductress. She loves to target men by speaking quietly and politely to them to be enticing.
Men love women who speak quietly and politely or not at all.
No, legit, they do.
Yeah.
We have to be so submissive. Why do we hate men today? Goodness. Well, we kind of hate men all the time. Wink, wink. Ugh. She then lures them into the forest where she feeds them lizards, ants, and snakes. What a delicacy.
Wow, that's kind of her.
It's kind
She's
of
like
creepy.
speaking politely to you while she's making you eat like a spider or something.
Ew. She's like, "Hello, sir. Do you mind if I make you a sandwich of spiders?" Spiders and... I guess I don't really say spiders. Lizards and snakes and ants. There's probably a spider in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Lizards, snakes, and ants.
Oh,
so it's
my.
very reptile. Well, not the ants so much.
Lizards, ants, and snakes. Yeah. Yeah, reptile, insect. We'll throw spiders in there, too.
Yeah.
Why not? Most of the time, the victims don't return, but if they're lucky and they're still alive, he will usually wake up on a rock face or in a ravine for some weird reason. I don't know why those two specific places, but she likes to throw
Because
them
it's
there.
scary.
It is. A ravine? Like, have you been in one? You can't
No,
get out
because
very
they're
easily.
too scary. I'm not going to go in one.
In order to break the spell, you have to turn your clothing inside out and walk home backward from
Wow.
the area she was spotted in. So just imagine you get kidnapped by this seductress and, like, you eat a snake that she feeds you, and then she leaves you in this ravine.
And she's very polite.
She's very polite about it. Would you mind if I feed you a snake? And then she shoves it down your throat, and yeah. So you have to turn your clothing around and then walk backwards all the way home.
Wow, that's a lot of dedication. I don't know if I could do it, but
Yeah, I would probably just lay down and die. Like,
I would just let
dude,
her
just
do
take
what
me.
she wants to me. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem so bad.
Yeah,
like, I'll eat
just-
snakes, sure. You're sexy, so.
I mean, she is quite pretty.
No?
No.
She's not?
I don't know. She's fine. She just looks dead. So.
Oh, yeah, the decay thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I would want to walk backwards then.
Yeah.
And is it like you trick her because you're walking backwards so she can't tell where you're actually going?
I think so. And she can't, like, track you because, I don't know.
She's not smart enough to know that you'd walk backwards?
Yeah, she's just a woman. I just stop. But yeah, like the clothing inside out thing, I don't understand that. And it didn't really go into detail with that either. So I'm trying to figure out, like,
Yeah, the clothing inside out is a little...
it might be something to trick her. Inside
Or
out
it's
and
some
walking
kind of,
backwards.
like, portal thing that you can create somehow.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. She's very mysterious. But I did find a photo of her, or someone dressed up as her in this little festival thing. So she's, like, pretty big. But another kind of point of view of her is that in Caribbean history, women were treated as slaves, abused, and seen as second-class citizens. Typical, of
Yeah.
course, which is sad. She brings her wrath upon those who wander away from the good things in life, which is, like, interesting. And it's basically, if you're a shitty person, La Diablesse will probably visit you and kill you.
Okay, so it's like a moral folklore.
Yeah, so if you have a slave that's a woman, or just, like, treat her really bad, then La Diablesse will come and be like, yo, you suck. I'm going to kill you.
So she's like Medusa, where at first she seems like a bad guy or a bad woman, but looking more into her story and why she does what she does, she has been forced into this kind of role because of the unfairness towards women.
Yeah, so she sees all these ladies, like, abused, second-class citizens, oppressed and stuff, and she's like, anyone who treats these ladies bad like that, like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
She's a heroine.
She is.
Heroine.
Yeah, vigilante.
Yeah.
I guess. Oh, yeah, they undertake law enforcement on themselves.
Because law enforcement might be corrupt or something.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Or don't give a shit.
Yeah. So fun, or should I say weird fact, take a drink. I don't know why I said that like a ghost. There's a Caribbean rum brand called Diablesse Rum. It's in the UK. It's solely female-owned, and this is from their website, but they were sick of being dominated in the alcohol industry by masculine themes like pirates and hula girls, so they decided to make this amazing woman-owned rum brand with La Diablesse face on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I tried to find some here in Utah, but I could not, so it either needs to be ordered or just smuggled or something. So if anyone in the UK has some, send it to us.
Yeah, illegal. That's very illegal, but we didn't tell you to.
Yeah,
right?
definitely not. Wink, 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 wink. Anyway, shout out to this rum brand. They also help underprivileged female entrepreneurs, and they give them, like, little grants and scholarships, I guess.
That's
so
cool.
They help underprivileged women, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So, heads up. Shout out to La Diablesse Rum. Next up, we have La Ciguapa. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. I looked up pronunciation, so I'm sorry, not sorry. This little lady is kind of a half siren, half demon that lurks in the shadows of the woodlands.
And she's beautiful, isn't she?
Yes, of
Guapa.
course. Oh, Ciguapa? Or guapa?
Guapa means beautiful.
So she's in the Dominican Republic, and she feeds on the flesh of souls and men. My kind of woman. She has long, dark, lustrous hair that covers over her body down to her ankles.
Whoa, nice.
At some point, I'm like, hair is too long, and it's kind of gross.
I know. I'm tired of my hair, and it gets, like, stuck in my armpits and stuff sometimes because it's so long.
Mine's probably at that point, too, like, mid-back. I'm like, ew. She has large, enchanting black eyes and backwards feet.
Yay! This isn't our first cryptid with backwards feet.
Yeah. I don't... Which one? Was it the Philippines one?
No. It was in our Incubus Succubus episode.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. So she has normal knees and legs and whatnot, but her feet are completely backwards, and I have a picture of her. A weird tidbit, I looked up backwards feet meaning, and it's basically, I don't remember if you talked about this already, but it's basically a symbol for the spirit being kind of like in a mirror world compared to ours. So
Interesting.
That was a little weird.
Maybe that's why people need to walk backwards and put their clothes on backwards, is to, like, somehow access the mirror world or trick the mirror world to get away from the seductress.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's probably it. She preys on those who venture out into the woods alone, such as cacao farmers or adventurers or even kids. Her presence reminds me of kind of Sasquatch, a little bit.
Very elusive.
Yeah, so it's very elusive. There's kind of a stillness in the air, and it's very quiet. No birds, no insects, no animals can be heard when La Ciguapa is around. The things you can hear, though, are gentle...
Singing?
No, but there's gentle breezes with whispers intertwined.
Interesting.
And howls that echo through the canopies. Ow! So not quite singing, but more unpleasant.
Yeah, because I was
howling.
thinking if she's like a siren, maybe she sings people to lure them in.
Yeah.
But do the whispers on the wind lure people in?
Yeah, I think pretty much the whispers are her enticing men. Like, hello, come to my cave. Hello. Ow.
I'm naked.
I'm so naked.
And alone.
So once she entices a lonely man to her cave, she consumes the flesh off of their bones, or she is sometimes known to trap them forever and torture them.
Fun.
There's another type of Saguapa, though, that's kind of more shy and slightly less threatening. So I don't know, maybe one person has a different experience with the Saguapa than another person, or maybe there's multiple types.
Yeah.
Something like that. But here's a little short story for you here from Francisco Garidi. Quote, in Garidi's short story, a young couple had gone down to the river to fetch some water and were spied on by a male Saguapa, which is also weird that there's like a male Saguapa.
Yeah.
3 days after the encounter, the girl that had witnessed the Saguapa dies. In this story, the Saguapa is not a flesh-eating demon that can hypnotize its victim. It's a shy creature that gets consumed by jealousy whenever she encounters a person of the opposite sex.
Just instantly jealous because they see the opposite sex.
Yeah. This jealousy creates a connection, like a male Saguapa with a woman and woman with a man, obviously, that later leads to the death of the two connected beings. Her jealousy ends with death. When it is the female Saguapa that surprises such, the male lover dies at the same time as the Saguapa. When it's a male Saguapa, the female lover dies, as did my poor Marcelin. End quote. So whoever this author is, his lovely Marcelin died from a Saguapa. Kind of
Sad.
like Romeo and Juliet almost. And this is the last one, but it's pretty... I don't know. If I was a kid and I heard this story, it'd be pretty freaky. This one is called The Heart Man. These creepy dudes are men who have sold their souls to the devil in exchange for financial gain. I would probably do that as well.
Yeah, as a Capricorn, you would.
Amen. The deal they made with the devil isn't the easiest. They have to keep providing the devil a specific quota of human hearts each year.
Wow.
And I don't know how many hearts they need to get, but I would hope that it's a lot just to keep this creepy.
Okay, but so you basically have to become a serial killer so you can be wealthy.
I'd do it.
Yeah, but like you could just be a serial killer and steal their money while you kill them and not have to sell your soul. So it's like,
well, yeah,
you're stealing their souls for someone else earning money.
Yeah.
Or you could just kill them for yourself and earn money for yourself.
Well,
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, you have to steal their credit cards, and then maybe their credit cards will post fraud or something.
Oh, yeah.
So there's like little
you are more
things.
likely to get caught if you use their credit cards, but maybe they have cash around.
Yeah, I'd probably honestly do that rather than sell my soul to the devil. But, you know, maybe I'm too cautious.
Maybe it's more of this is an easier thing because I don't have to worry about trying to rob them, too.
Yeah. A more comfort or, easier thing.
More security.
Yeah. Financial security, yeah.
But not eternal security.
The good news is that they only attack during the last quarter of the year. And I don't know what their quarters are, but I would assume the last, 3 months. So, as humans, we should only be scared from October to December. He collects the hearts of strangers, friends, family. No one is safe. The innocent hearts of children are the best, though. So he sneaks into houses at night to take kids' hearts. And it's pretty sad. If I had kids, I'd be like, the Heartman's gonna get ya! You better go to sleep! If you want to join the Hartman Club, or become a Hartman, you have to be inducted into the group. They bring you into the forest, you take a bath in a metal tub, and then the devil appears and anoints you. The next day, there will be coins along the path to where the Hartman was led to the metal bath. I have no idea what that even has anything to do with anything. Maybe someone sees these coins like, another Hartman is born. I don't know. Or maybe the coins are worth, thousands of dollars, and then whoever finds them gets, a lot of money. Maybe.
I'm sure it has something to do with representing the greed behind it.
Yeah, I think so. To be released from the oath that he took with the devil, he has to go back to the same place in the woods, meet with the devil, and then he has to agree to lose his wealth and a foot.
Oh, and a foot.
Yeah, so once you're in it, it's okay, well, in order to get out, I have to lose my foot and all my worth.
Oh, man.
I'll be in there forever taking hearts. I don't even care. A weird note on this. When this person who used to be a Hartman dies, His tongue is cut out so that he cannot speak the oath, the beginning oath, again, so that he can't become a Hartman in the afterlife. So how does one stay protected from the Hartman? Don't ever go down lonely paths or alleyways. Okay.
They just like to stalk alleys?
Yeah, I guess. Don't go anywhere alone. So you always have to have, like, a buddy system.
Oh my gosh.
And you can't even go into your own home alone. You can't be in your own home alone.
So from now on, being alone is not safe.
Yeah, so your heart's going to get stolen if you live alone.
That sucks.
No one knows what he looks like either, so good luck with that.
Wow, he's just like, this is a lose-lose situation all around with this guy.
It is. At this point, like, yeah, just take my heart, and then I'll go take an oath to be a Hartman myself somehow. So that is it for Caribbean folklore. And shout out again to Jill. Shout out to our Patreon subscribers. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We post Weird Fact of the Days.
We are going to be recording Penguin Squatch, aka Old Three Toes, the Giant Penguin, etc. We're going to do a mini bonus story on this creature, on this cryptid, and that will be available to our Patreon subscribers. So if you'd like to support us and have access to bonus mini episodes and deleted scenes, then head over to patreon.com/weirdaholics, be a member of our donor party, and check out this mini episode we're about to publish. And if you enjoy our episodes, please take a moment to leave us a good review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We'd really appreciate that.
If you leave a bad review, we'll probably make fun of you. Just kidding, we'll cry.
We'll probably cry, then make fun of you.
Yeah.
And you can also email us for topic suggestions or personal stories, and for anything else, really. Tiffany at weirdaholics.com.
Nicole at weirdaholics.com. Please send foot pics.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Boop, 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 boop.
Drink.